what exactly even makes this dollar thing go up? I need to understand how exactly does it work in economics. Make it make sense. If you found yourself asking these questions and you just don't get it, right, and you want to understand it, in simple ABC terms, come closer. This video is for you. In this video, let's talk about what exactly gives rise to dollar increase, prices of things. What exactly are the factors that fuel this thing in the everyday man language? Let's talk about it in this video. The United States dollar is the resident currency, the primary currency of the United States of America, which is one of the most powerful countries in the world. One of the most important things that actually makes them, rich, wealthy, is because they have companies resident in America that are bringing in income. When the citizens are innovative, when the citizens are able to create wealth and bring in other nations' income into their own country, these are the factors that actually makes a country rich. Because a country that has rich citizens would be rich because you'll be able to get more taxes, more tariffs, more all of that. Now, that being said, let's come to Nigeria. So one thing, before we come into Nigeria, one thing you should know is that because the USA, is a very powerful country, they've been able to make their own currency like the source of exchange. So when I want to buy anything in the international market, they will ask me for dollars, meaning that there is a high demand for dollar. What is demand? Need, basically. I think everybody knows what demand is. So yes, there's a high demand and a high need for dollar. Now let's come into Nigeria. Now every country has sort of like a bank account, just like you have a personal bank account. Every country has a sort of bank account called foreign reserve. So we keep our foreign reserve dominated in dollar because we have to trade in the international market using dollar. Now, what exactly, if you think about it, you personally, what makes your bank account increase? When you provide a service for someone and they give you income, that makes your bank account increase. So it's the same thing with every number with a country, right? So a country would increase their foreign reserve when they are able to provide something that will bring in money. Simple. You increase your income by doing a job, providing a service, selling something so that people can pay you. You create value, right? Same thing with foreign reserve. And one of the ways that Nigeria used to get foreign reserve was through our sale of crude oil. Now, over the years, the price of crude oil started to drop. And because the price of crude oil started to drop, it started to affect our foreign reserve. So the money we used to make, we weren't making it anymore. Unfortunately, we have had corrupt leaders who have squandered the savings that we could have had. So, for example, if now you're working, every day you're working, you're not saving, you're not doing anything, by the time something happens and you no longer have a job, the money you have saved is what's going to help you. But if you have not saved anything and you've been spending as someone who has unending supply of money, what's going to happen? You're not going to have money. Exactly. Over the years, our foreign reserves were dwindling. They kept dwindling, it kept going down, and we ended up where we are. One of the problems we have is that we don't have anything that brings in money for us except crude oil. We don't have innovative companies that other people from other countries can come and buy into. The way we buy iPhones, the way we buy laptops, the way we buy gadgets, the way we buy all the things that we buy, we import. So many countries have been able to, have situations where they can export the services and the value that they are creating in order to bring in wealth. So because in Nigeria, we don't have that, and even the little that we have, the government is not giving an enabling environment, everything is not working, the industries are having issues of fueling, no lights, a lot of things, a lot of factors, there are a lot of systemic factors that affect. So these are one of the reasons why we don't have a large export. So we don't export a lot of things, but we import more than we export. If you understand me thus far, I know this is not a live video, but if you understand me, comment below, I understand. Wow. Yeah. So why exactly does the dollar go up and go down? Now, these are the reasons. I have it written down here, so I'm just going to read it out to us. Now, the first thing that affected dollar is the oil revenue, which is what I said before. The oil revenue dwindled because many countries started to find other alternative ways of fueling. So the second thing that affected dollar, I have written here that in the late 2015, the then government, through the central bank, activated capital control measures such as shutting out access to foreign currency withdrawals and imposing limits on how Nigerians can withdraw using foreign ATMs. Remember that time when they blocked everything, when we stopped being able to pay for Apple Music with our Naira cards, we stopped being able to pay for this, pay for that. These measures that they put in place actually affected the flow of dollar. Now they thought they were doing a good thing, but it was actually not a good thing because here's the thing: it put it made people now withdraw their dollar and they prefer to keep their dollar by themselves or use the black market. So if I need dollar to buy something, I'd rather use black market. If I need dollar to pay for Apple Music, I'd rather use all these third party apps. And all these third party apps started using it as an opportunity to increase their price. And this was what led to the increase in. These are the factors that led to it. Now, another point that has really, really affected the dollar is the fact that we don't have a good enabling environment for companies or foreign companies to thrive. People were getting kidnapped, fuel, all these things, they are factors that affect the economy. Now, the average Nigerian may not see that, but those are the factors. So, a lot of people started withdrawing money. They were withdrawing their money, and it affected, the reserve that we had in our country. Another factor that affected dollar, that affected, the naira dollar thing, was also the mass exodus. I had to use that word, okay? That's really been an exodus. As you're watching me, one or two people that have jackpot in this country in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right? And as they are going, they need dollar. And the dollar available at the banks were not enough. And so it led to increase. So the thing again, it is demand and supply. The more people that were leaving the country needing dollar, the more the dollar increased. The more the demand, the more the people that were responsible needed to increase price. So these were the issues. These are the things that have been affecting the mass exodus. And then there are Nigerians that have people, they have children, students abroad. And because they have children abroad, they need the dollar. So these are the issues. Because there's a high and huge demand for dollar. But in the last 1 year, one great factor that really affected the dollar was the floating of the naira that the new government did. So that decision, I don't know if they thought it was going to be a good idea, but it did not work. Now this is what they planned. This is what it means to float naira and dollar. Now the dollar in the central bank has a particular amount, was 400 naira. But in the market, black market, that's why it's called black market. Any amount they like, they say is about demand and supply. So anything they like, they sell. But the problem is there was not enough dollar in the banks because the people that had black market were the ones that had the dollar. They were selling more. People were going to meet them. So the government thought that, if they float the naira, that is liberalize the naira, free the naira, allow the naira to now be in the same value as black market. That's, you can now come demand what you want and we supply. They thought that if they did that, people will bring their dollar to the banks so that the banks will have something because Nigerians were hoarding their dollars. But it did not work. Instead, it made people go to the black market. Instead, the black market was now increasing because some people now felt it was a good idea. There's also the corruption factor. A lot of banks are benefiting from the dollar going up like that. Some of them, in those days when the dollar was 400 in bank and 1,000 something or 800 in the black market, in those days, what the banks would do is they will carry their dollar, give to Aboki. Aboki will trade with it. They will not collect the dollar back, allegedly. I did not mention any bank. But yeah, that's what the banks, that's what we heard that the banks were doing, allegedly. So, and it's just part of the problem, right? It was part of the problem. So these are the things that have really affected our dollar price. Now, someone may say, because I saw a video of a lady saying, oh, is it dollar that said tomato should be expensive? Is it dollar that said mango should be expensive? Is it dollar that said, this is how it works. Nigeria does not produce our own fuel. Let's start from there. Nigeria does not produce our own fuel. And because we don't produce our fuel, we import the fuel. Imagine we create the crude oil, we send it abroad, we sell it, then they refine it and sell it back to us. How silly is that? So because we don't produce our own fuel, we buy the fuel back in dollar. And now that the government has removed subsidy, it means that those that are buying fuel are buying in dollars. And so they have to move by the market price. Are you seeing the problem? Now, because they have to sell by the market, they have to sell by what they bought, it affects the price of fuel in Nigeria, therefore affecting the price of transportation. So if someone is going to plant tomato, and the amount of transporting tomato from Kano to Lagos was 2,000 before, and now it's 5,000, what do you expect? Do we see how dollar affects everything? Now, another example is the manure that they use. Some of those things, they import it. The tractor, they import it. The tractor, that the fuel and the diesel they will put into the tractor, how will they get it? These are the things that affect the prices of food. That transport cost is the number one factor that affect the prices of food. Someone was saying, oh, how does dollar affect Agbaluma? How does dollar affect... Do you even know what you're saying? Oh yeah, I hope that this video has really, really been helpful. I hope it has taught you something about how the dollar naira thing works. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you now understand it, if your eyes are now opened. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Please remember to subscribe, share this video, tell them this is what happened. This is why the dollar is going up and going down. Yes, and I'll see you in my next video.